I'm Luke BODENSTEINER, the Executive Vice President of Athletics at USSA. And my role here at USSA is to oversee all of our sport programs, from elite teams down to grassroots, from our high performance programs to our education programs. And my role here during rookie camp is really to put this program in place as an induction for the athletes, to bring them together as a team and really, expose them to what we do here as a national ski and snowboard team. One of the things that we really try to accomplish here at the rookie camp is an induction into the culture of USSA. And one of the partners that we've brought into this camp is a military mentorship program, which is brought to us by Penn Fed. And what that allows us to do is really use military personnel as an example for our athletes in terms of the elements of the culture that create high performance here at USSA. Things like resilience, teamwork, loyalty, those sorts of aspects that our team really parallels with our military. And there's a great exchange of ideas, there's a great exchange of motivations, and really it helps to impress upon our athletes that there's a bigger service at play here. This is not just about them and their individual performance, but it's also about how they represent their nation, their national team, about how they conduct themselves with their teammates, about accountabilities and things like that. So it's been actually a superb element for us to add into the camp here.
My name's Rob Powers. I'm founder of American 300, and we are just so incredibly blessed to be able to work with the USSA and our friends at Penn Fed to put together this program, the USSA Military Mentorship Program. In a nutshell, the program is a two-way exchange. We bring wounded warriors and active duty service members to USSA camps so that our service members can share their tricks of the trade, share their stories of resilience and overcoming obstacles, and most importantly, striving for excellence with our USSA athletes. And then in reverse, we take USSA athletes and bring them to bases all over the world. Really, the USSA Military Mentorship Program presented by Penn Fed is all about bringing two fantastic groups together, the USSA and its US ski team, US free skiing and US snowboard athletes, and our United States Armed Forces members. Both groups are striving to be excellent each and every day. And by bringing the two groups together, they're able to share their commonalities and grow from the commonality and the time spent together. And in essence, that's what we do. We bring wounded warriors to USSA camps, and we bring USSA athletes to bases all over the world. My background is I served in the military. I was in the U.S. Army Mountain Warfare School. I was also in the Armed Forces Sports Program as a biathlete. And I left the military because of you all. I left because I got a phone call that said, hey, would you like to become a development coach for Nordic Combined? You all are where you're at right now because of a desire to be the best that you can possibly be. Well, guess what? Your brothers and sisters that put on a uniform, that at age 18 put up their right hand and volunteered to come into the service, had the desire to be the best that they could be as well.
It's truly an honor and humbling to me, for me, to be in this room with the kind of caliber of people that you are. I highly respect what you all are doing. That you've set a dream, you've set a goal, and you're putting forth all of the training and the efforts, and there's a lot of sacrifice. And as Robbie was kind of alluding to, it's very similar to us military types, right? There's sacrifice and there's commitment that you have to put because you want to be excellent at what you do. There really is a connection between us, right? What we do in the military and what you all are doing with pursuing your dream and the kind of commitment and dedication that you're putting there. And so you're going to serve as an inspiration to your brothers and sisters in the military. And I encourage you, any opportunity, whether it's through this program or in other ways, to do that. I know that it meant a lot to us when we were deployed to have athletes and come out and encourage us and say, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, and just be a source of that inspiration for us. And I think it does go both ways. And that's the beautiful thing about the relationship that we can have with one another.
I'm McCRAY Williams, 23 years old, from Park City, Utah, and I'm a slopestyle skier. I think it's a cool dynamic. Definitely, we have some similarities between Olympic athletes and military officers, generals. We both deal with a lot of come up and battle to get to the top or to achieve victory, whatever it may be. And I think with that, there's a lot of stress that comes when you're done with that. You've depended on this thing for pretty much half your life, and then you've got to go on and do something else. So I think that's a big similarity that we both share, and the dealing with the stress, PTSD and stuff like that.
I'm Zoe KALAPOS. I'm from Michigan, and I do halfpipe, snowboard, and I'm 17. I think that both the athletes and people in the military are just trying to make their country proud, whether it's at international competitions where we're representing the U.S., or if you're over in Afghanistan, like fighting for our country, then we're just trying to do the best. Yeah, I think when you go to competitions that aren't in the U.S. and you're one of the only U.S. riders and you do well, then it just makes your country look really good.
Yeah, so I snowboard slopestyle, and yeah, I just hope to try and make it as far as I can go and have fun along the way. We are out here at some climbing thing in Salt Lake, or in Park City, Utah, and it's pretty hectic. There's a lot of high areas and a lot of ropes and a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Jen came in from the military and we learned like a bunch of cool stuff about that, and like, I don't know, we just learned a bunch of cool stuff about the U.S. team and like what they'll do for you, and it's pretty cool seeing like the COE and seeing what the USSA will do for like us.
It's been super cool to be paired up because we have so much in common, down to musical instruments and passions for things outside of, you know, just our jobs. And I've definitely gained some real insight into new techniques, and I do a lot of meditation in my own life and connecting on that, and just ways of relaxing and centering yourself so you can really achieve your highest potential. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about some of the things that you do for skiing. Maybe that'll help me overcome some of my challenges with trying to ski or snowboard. So.
Well, it was cool because when we were up on the ropes course, I feel like I used a lot of the same techniques and just talking through it and communication that I use in skiing when I'm working with a coach or someone else. So it was cool to kind of apply that here in a very different environment.
Absolutely.
So we just got finished up hanging out with a couple of people from the military mentorship program here at Rookie Camp, and that was a blast. We heard from a Black Hawk helicopter pilot named Jen, and she was telling us about how throughout her entire career in the military as an active service member, she worked through all these barriers, her height and her gender and all these things that initially prevented her from accomplishing her goal of becoming a combat fighter pilot. And it was a long journey. She said it was over a decade that all of this was taking place. And throughout the entire thing, she never lost focus of her goal to become a combat fighter pilot. And she traveled around, overcame a lot of obstacles, and eventually did serve in Iraq in 2005. And it was a really incredible story working through all those barriers. And for her to accomplish her goal is quite an inspiration, as we're all going to experience setbacks on the course, whether it be injuries, whether it be being cut from a team. And it's going to be incredibly important for us to be resilient and for us to persevere. And for someone like Jen to come in and tell us her story was just an incredible gift, because that is the definition of perseverance. It's the definition of resilience. For us to hear firsthand what that was like is certainly going to give us some help as we encounter those situations in our own lives.